and this is the Art of Rhyming, episode 43. Just because you rhyme doesn't make you an artist. You know how we do. This is something to aspire to. We got a returning guest today, Kamron Bahani from Rockland County NY. With his latest release, it's called Se7en. It's a concept album, a play on the movie. He's becoming one of my favorite artists this year. Last time he came on, he was with Pro Dillinger, and they dropped their Parties album. I was sort of part of the promotional run, and he's back with his new album, one of my favorites so far. And let's get this started. So we've got Kamron here. Let's see if we can get him to join. Go live with. Thank you for joining Lord Quaj once again, the real six man. There he is.
Yo.
Peace, Cam. How are you, man?
What's up, man? How's everything? Good to see you.
Good. It's a scorcher here in Toronto.
Oh, yeah. Yo, it's hot over here, too. It's very hot. What is it? Like 95 today?
Yeah, man. I went for a walk at lunch, and like 30 minutes, I decided not to wear like suntan lotion, but probably should have. It was that hot.
Did you get burnt?
Little bit, actually. A bit, yeah. But I burn easily, so
yeah,
that's how it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, me too. I burn easily too, right, Iman?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So what else going on, man?
Not much, man. Just work, family. Father's Day just passed. We had a nice day.
You've been killing it. You've been doing really fucking good, man. It's nice to see. We talk about it all the time, but like, you know, it's really cool.
Yeah, man.
It's still making progress.
I'm doing an interview weekly now, trying to keep it rolling, and because people got to get hooked on the habit, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
So just to give a recap, I want to bring everyone's attention. This is your third time on. I love tracking like an artist's progress, so to speak. You know what I mean? And guests that I have on the show, I'm always a fan. Our first episode, I thought it was a really dope episode. It's our first time connecting. I think it was kind of slept on. We talk about shit like mental health. That was one of the main topics. I highly recommend some people circle back. I thought it was a great episode. And then you jumped on, I think it was like months later with Pro Dillinger. You guys kind of included me in your promotional run, I would say. You sent me your Parties album. Oh, Cam gone? Talking to the wind. Let's see if we get Cam back on. Go live with Cam. How's everyone doing tonight? Dope.
Yo, I don't know what the hell just happened.
No worries, man. We'll just keep it rolling. No worries, bro.
Yeah,
no worries, bro.
It was quick.
So yeah, I was saying that the last time you jumped on the live, it was with Pro Dillinger for your Parties album. You guys sent it to me in advance. You kind of included me in your promotional run, I feel like, which was cool.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I was excited to see how that would turn out because I'd interviewed Pro as well, and it was a dope mashup. And is it true that one was number 13 on iTunes?
Yeah, that happened. And I think it was because like, so I'm with Cage Riot Music, and the way that they approached that was they were like, we don't really care about the streams right now, but I told them that, you know, everything with the underground, a lot of it's vinyl distribution. So they kind of pushed that, and they were like, well, if we don't have vinyls of this, we have to figure out a way to push digital copies. And they did. So, you know, it was good. It's definitely, it was a good move on their part.
Nice. So, was that number 13 hip hop, I guess, US charts for iTunes?
I don't know what it was overall. Yeah, but hip hop for sure.
That's dope.
Cool.
That's dope, man. I remember Pro saying that he was open to like expanding his fan base, so to speak, working with you, and it's something he wanted to do, and you wanted to as well.
Oh yeah.
Is that both of your highest charting projects so far, or I'm not sure if you've been following stuff like this, but
so I'll say it in this way. I think in terms of streams, no, it's not even close. But in terms of impact, I think especially where I'm from, and I think a little bit. I think in the underground community too. It was kind of my introduction to the underground, and that was kind of that kind of bridged the gap, you know. And then after Se7en dropped, that's when things kind of started coalescing a lot more. Like that, those two projects changed my life. You know, they don't have the most streams, but they had the most impact for me.
Yeah.
Because now you get the real fans. Like the streamers are fickle. People
Right.
put on the gym playlist, they forget about it. But now
Right.
you have people in the underground who are genuinely dedicated to what you do, and you just have to be grateful for them and not bullshit them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to be genuinely grateful for your supporters. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And it gives the artist the opportunity to do that, and it's really, yeah, it's a big blessing in disguise. It's funny how things work. Because when I first started out, everybody, when you rap, you want to be like Drake or you want to be like, but all that's bullshit. Like as long as you connect with people, that's kind of what it's all about. And that's when I make the best music, is when I'm able to kind of just vibe with people and just be authentic, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, Pro's got a diehard fan base as well, so it must be something dope to observe and sort of be in his proximity to see
Man.
how he does things.
Yeah, I owe a lot to that guy. He's great. He's awesome. He's amazing.
So when that album dropped, Parties, I think you guys dropped one video. There were some heaters on that album. I personally thought you could have dropped another one, but how do you guys decide when to move on? Like, what was the thought process? Or
You mean for Parties too?
yeah, well, for Parties, the
Oh,
first
for
one.
Parties, how did it all kind of come together?
No, like, how do you decide when to move on from Parties in terms of promotion, like dropping videos?
I got you.
Yeah.
So I guess the way that I kind of took it was like Parties was somewhat it was new for me because I wanted to make sure Pro was comfortable in the production as well.
Right.
You know, so it was kind of being able to find a balance between all of that. But the beats that I chose, I just heard Pro's voice on. Like I just heard Pro going crazy on it. And like I said, it introduced me to the underground. And then after I did that, I had some heads turning a little bit. And then when Se7en dropped, that's when Se7en, like, people were reaching out a lot for Se7en.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people were reaching out for Se7en. So it's cool.
It's one of my favorite albums this year, and we're definitely going to get into it, break it down a little bit.
Oh man, that's so
definitely
crazy.
a lot of replay value.
Thanks,
for a
man.
20-minute album, man. So
Yeah,
man.
Thank you, bro. That means that means a lot. You know that coming from you, because we talk, we're homies. Like, you know, it's like it's cool, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Genuinely.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. So I watched your Sam Buck episode you were on the Bucked Up podcast with Pro 2 months ago. It was very entertaining. He's a funny dude.
Yeah,
and you guys talked about a follow-up album with Pro. We're gonna get into Se7en in a second here.
Right.
But is it called Sangria? Is that right? That's your next album with Pro?
It's gonna be Parties too.
Okay.
So we were thinking about naming it Sangrias, but Parties we kind of, because everyone knows Parties. Or, you know, a lot of people know Parties 1, so why not just keep it Parties 2?
Right.
You know, like Parties Seconds. We're kind of like working on the title.
Right.
But that's a cool name. So
got it.
And it's still going to be Persian oriented. You know, we're going to keep that same theme going. But I think me and Pro are both in very, very, very comfortable pockets right now. So I think it's going to be crazy.
So it's interesting seeing you mix up with some real talent in the underground, including Pro. You got Snotty on this album and others. Do you feel this is your home now, sort of in the underground? And where would you say Kamron Bahani fits into this picture, if you even think of it like?
These are such good questions.
Yeah.
I think if I'm being completely honest, like about the whole situation, like being introduced to the underground and stuff like that, I'm just grateful to be there. I don't want to, you know, I don't really try to get to. And the thing is, like, I don't look at it like that, because when you meet these guys and like you chill with them and you hang out with them, they're genuine, like really genuine people.
Right.
So it's like when you're all together, it's not competition, because it's not. It's like we're all, like, everybody's mad cool. There's never any problems with nobody. Everybody's just chilling, having a good time, vibing. And like we all show each other love.
Yeah.
It's like there's that balance there. Like we'll say, yo, your shit is dope, your shit, and we'll mean it. It's not like Snotty came to my release party, Pro was at my release party, they didn't need to be there, but they were there. And
Yeah.
like those types of things, like they've taught me a really valuable lesson. It's like stick with the people who treat you like you deserve to be treated in the industry, and you'll go further
Right.
than where you're gonna go. Like when if you don't belong there, you don't belong there, and you'll learn you don't belong there. But
Right.
because you know you don't belong there, you'll know when genuine people are around you.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
So
that's why we keep chopping up, right? And
yeah,
so even beyond just having an episode here as a friend, definitely value the gems we dropped in the DMs. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, bro.
Motivational stuff. So yeah,
Hell
man.
yeah.
So look, I don't really follow trending hip hop and shit. I don't think I have for years, to be dead honest with
Yeah, I
you.
know.
But I feel of all my guests, you represent one of the more contemporary sounds.
Okay.
Now, you told me you don't listen to hip hop today much, like on a day-to-day basis. So I wanted to ask you, if I got it right, when did you kind of stop listening to hip hop on the daily? And who were some of your last influences? Because I feel like you got hella flows and cadences, and like you got you got a lot of contemporary styles in you. But I'm wondering, where did you taper off in terms of
So
listening and influences?
I listen to hip hop. Maybe like the taste of my music kind of varies. Probably every other day, probably every day actually. So like one day I'm gonna listen to like Merle Haggard and you know like Waylon Jennings or something. The next day I'm gonna listen to Prince. The next day I'm gonna listen to '90s rom-com playlists. I'm not kidding. Like
Yeah,
I'm like '80s playlists. You know, like I don't. And I think for me it's that I don't like rap is really cool. Rap is really dope. I love rapping. I love making rap music. But like punk rock will always have a place in my heart
yeah,
over a lot of the rap that I've like listened to. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's cool. You know, it's really
But
dope.
by the way, in the car with my wife, it's mostly soft rock. You know what I'm saying? So she's all about the soft rock
Yeah.
and ballads. So you know what I'm saying? So, but I wanted to ask you. So, who were some of your last influences in hip hop, though? Like, because I feel like you pull flows out of nowhere. You got all kinds of flows. Like, where are these flows coming from? And these cadences, these styles.
I
Who influenced you last? You know what I'm saying? In terms of hip hop.
I think Schoolboy Q is always going to be one of probably my biggest influence in hip hop. Schoolboy, without a doubt.
Got
I,
it.
I think Schoolboy. I think Schoolboy is like, and everyone always gives me shit for it, but Schoolboy Q is my favorite rapper of all time. Like he always will be. You know,
Right.
like he's got because he could do everything. Like, and that's what I always kind of strive to be. If you listen to Oxymoron, like you could run. You know what? When you get off, because you know I'm always gonna put you on. Like I will never put you on the wax shit.
Right.
I never will.
Yeah.
Listen to Oxymoron front to back,
Okay.
and you'll be like, holy shit. But if
Will
you
do.
listen to like Schoolboy Q, Oxymoron is probably my favorite album, without a doubt. Has to,
Got it.
yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
And Jay Roberts is in the comments.
Yo,
He's
Jay
saying one
Roberts,
of his
yo,
favorites too. He said Cam is the truth. I see
yo,
you guys as a stylistic matchup. I tried to
yo.
pair you
He's
guys
cool,
together.
man.
I'm hoping something will happen.
Yo,
No
and
pressure though. You know what I'm saying?
congratulations on getting married, Jay Roberts.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Congrats.
Cheers
He's
to that.
he's in Aruba right now. He said so.
That's
Yeah, man.
fire.
So yeah, let's get to the album Se7en.
Good.
So in terms of features, you got Pro Dillinger, you got Snotty. He had a sick verse on there.
Yo, I can't stop.
Marcus Jordan, Blockito.
Yep.
And is Blockito also from Rockland County? I think I'm getting up to speed on Rockland. Is that
I don't
something you
want
mentioned?
to.
Or
I think it's Newburgh. I think it's
okay,
Newburgh. It might be Rock. I don't know exactly where.
right. Gotcha. Okay. So what's cool is you have all these formidable underground artists with like serious deliveries, and you completely stand out on your own merits. You got crazy flows. You're dropping gems in your bars, not just talking bullshit. And when you do that, that's what I call being in the zone. You're unfazed by what other people are doing. You're doing your thing, and you're shining alongside with them any style that they're bringing. So yeah, I just want to say that.
Oh, thank you, man. That's a big compliment because they're all crazy dope. Like Marcus Jordan is actually my videographer too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and he's a producer, bro. He's so talented. That's my guy. I love him. He's the best.
Yeah, man. God, that was a dope verse of his as well.
Yeah.
Um, so here's what I love about this project. In a span of 20 minutes, you pulled off a concept album, kind of based on the movie Seven, which we're going to get deeper into. You got all sorts of beats. You got change ups on the beats within the tracks. You got your different flows, cadences. You got different subjects. You know, in the opening track, you're talking about watching your friends getting married, and you're kind of on your own path and shit. Then you got a track about your dad. Then you got a little more street flair on another album track with Pro, and somehow
Yeah.
you bring it all together, man. And
Yeah, man. Thank you.
I always appreciate an artist that has different dimensions. So
Yeah.
I'll just stop for a second. I don't know if you have any comment, but
No, I mean, well, so it's like the thing with Seven was like, it kind of was a cheat code because I wanted to, number one, the movie's fire. I knew exactly like which skits I wanted to use even before like I started rapping. I know exactly what I wanted it to feel like a movie, which
yeah,
is why there's beat switches. I wanted everything to feel like a scene.
yeah,
And then like after every deadly sin that there was, I wanted to fit the mood for it. So like whatever I was thinking of, like for example, like in when I heard Snotty's verse, I was like, okay, he's talking about real shit, how like he's drinking a lot at the end of the verse. You know, he's talking about like a lot of shit. And then the other one is like for that verse for me, it was like the arrogance where like rappers will always say this shit, but they really have nothing to back it up with.
right,
Which is so it's kind of like sloth, like y'all are talking, but you're not really doing anything.
right.
You know, I guess that's it's hard to explain. But it was really dope to be able to make that album, and we made it quick too. So because I write in the moment, I don't like before I go to the studio, I write. So
And it's cool. You got all these intricate flows, and then you told me the other day you one take them. Like it
yeah,
may take you more than one take to nail the one take, but you do it in one take, which is dope, man.
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, well, I mean, it's because I think Pro taught me that because if you're not doing a 16 straight through, we talked about it too on
Yeah,
DMs.
yeah,
If you're not doing a 16 straight through and you're trying to like just cut and paste everything, which I do, everybody does it. You know what I mean? I've done it too. Everybody does it.
yeah,
Like if you're really having an off day, you need to cut together the best pieces. Great. But at least get through the 16 and take the best parts from each if you need to.
yeah.
But like get through the 16 so you can practice breath control, you can practice live performances. You know, you don't need a backing track. Like it's that's what it's best for. It makes you a better MC.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, if I hear too many punches, it sort of kills the
It
momentum of
was
the verse for me personally, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
100%.
And for those of you that haven't heard Cameron, in case you haven't, man, he's got some crazy intricate flows. So go peep the album Seven.
Thanks, man.
Let me know what you think after the fact. Um, yeah, man. So you got an interesting mix of personality, bro. Like you have an interesting story. You got a business, you know, with your dad. You're doing well for yourself. You've had your struggles. We went through. Go back to the other episodes. Mental health, you know,
Mm-hmm.
physical health. I think it makes for just a very interesting story, and the way you incorporate into your style. I haven't seen a blend like that before, and as a
Oh,
longtime fan of hip hop, I like finding different angles. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm very interested to keep following you and see how far
Thank you,
you can
man.
take this
I really appreciate
formula.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
I'm not gonna quit anytime soon. You know
oh
that. I'm not. I'm not. You know that. I'm not going to. I can't. It'd be
yeah, man.
impossible.
I you've been doing this since you're like 16, right? I saw the footage,
No,
the videos and shit.
13. 13.
13.
Yeah,
That's
13.
crazy.
Yeah,
So,
man.
how would you say you keep the fire up, Cam? You know what I'm saying? I put the mic down at this point. You know what I'm saying? I might drop a verse here and there. I'm more supporting dope voices, but how do you keep the interest going, man?
I think I'm just obsessed with it. Like
Right.
even if I'm doing like anything, like whatever. If I'm at work or if I'm installing granite or I'm doing I'm thinking of lines in my head. I'm thinking of melodies in my head. Like it's I can't help it. It's just there's no. I just literally cannot help it. It's all I do is write all day in my head, and it's kind of like OCD a little bit. And that's where I'm diagnosed with OCD, so it works in a benefit in some way.
Right.
But it's also just like it's been such a big part of my life. It is my life, you know. I can't let it go. It's
Right.
done too much for me, and I think I think a lot of people in life don't really find the gifts that they believe they should. You know, they don't ever really find their gifts necessarily. So if you find your gift and you love your gift, like you better be grateful. And so I'm doing a EP with Potato God.
Right.
And there is one line I say where it's like, a gift to God is what you've created from His creation, which I think is very true. So that's kind of like, yeah, that's it. Just knowing that I have this thing that made my life keep going and getting better and giving me an outlet, and I just, you know, showed how grateful I was by working towards it as much as I have.
Potato God, he produced one of Pro's albums. I peeped it in preparation for his interview. Was it called D'Amore or something like that?
Dios es amor, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of his most like personal albums, I would say. Like,
oh yeah,
that was a dope album.
I gotta send you some of it. It's good.
Yeah,
you'll like it.
So, have you always made music in a silo, like by yourself? And is it different now that you're like connected with Pro and stuff? Like, does it give you some sort of a boost, or have you always worked with different artists closely?
No, well, there were artists that I like worked with, kind of, but not really. But I was always solo. I never really, you know, got too meshy. Even like people I was cool with in high school, I never really did too much music with them, just because no one really cared. I always did it by myself for the most part.
Yeah.
So Pro and them, Pro and them were the ones that were like, it's crazy because they, like I said before, they treat me like family, and you know, it's something that I'm grateful for.
Yeah, I think it's important to have like this renewable source of energy to bounce off other people that are like really like-minded and in the zone. So I think it's pretty dope that you guys are connected like that.
Yeah.
So getting back to the album, I want to fully like elaborate on the concept. So again, it's based on the movie Se7en, which is based on a serial killer who's like reenacting the 7 deadly sins.
Yep.
1995 movie with Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt. So let me just see here. What you told me is that you created this album as you started getting closer to God and religion. You made this album essentially to clear yourself of the 7 deadly sins. Did I get that right? Or am I dreaming what you said to me? Maybe you could re-explain it.
No, that was pretty much it, because over the last year, I've definitely gotten closer to God. And it was kind of like, okay, this is just like, and it was just like, this is a release for me. And of course, we're human beings. We're supposed to sin. It's, you know, we just have to repent, but we're going to sin. It is what it is. It's impossible not to. You're going to do it every day. So I think it was just kind of me acknowledging that, like, I am a human being. I don't know the answers to everything. And because I don't know the answers to everything, why not give it up to God? You know, like, why not, you know, realize that everything came from nothing? That's a little weird.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No worries. So opening track, you let Pro go first, kind of on his own beat before it changed up. That was Wrath. That was the first deadly sin. I feel like his voice represents Wrath perfectly, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, yeah. One of the hardest lines on there from Wrath, you're like, wait, lie to them hoes, tell them bitches every time, let them think I'm genuine and fuck them all to genuine. That might have been the hardest line on the project, man. So that was dope, man.
That was a good video. That's a good line. I love that line, bro. That line is hilarious.
And then on Greed, I like again, just the gems are dropping. You like, no pun intended. My feet firmly planted, 10 toes that we stand in when business expands. All my brothers is in business collecting them checks, and without them checking your chin. Man, I butchered that, but I really like that shit.
Yeah,
So.
man. Yeah, man. That was that. It was a fun, like that was such a fun album to me, and because we were on a crunch time too, because
Right.
Cage Riot wanted it at a certain time. We were like a few days late with it, but we started making like, I think the first song we made for Se7en was Lust, which was like, that was the first one that was like in December.
Right.
And we stopped like for a little bit. And then I came back in and like, I think maybe March, like mid-March or late March, and we just got to it and banged the rest of them out. You know, but it was so fun. It was such a fun album to make. It was such a fun album. It was really dope. I had a good time making it.
Nice. Are you working with like the same engineer, same studio?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Same engineer, same studio.
So you got a song called Envy. It's a song about your dad, obviously being somewhat, I guess, envious about your dad. You talk about him coming to the U.S. with a few dollars, $30 and a pack of smokes, in the bars. You know, working in the same business with him. What did it take you to make a song like this? And has your dad ever heard it? Would you ever play it for him even?
My dad would never hear that shit, bro.
He's a hardcore Iranian, right?
Yeah,
Iranian.
bro. He don't even know how to work an iPhone. He has trouble with there's no way he would never hear it, which is fine. Like I think, you know, but it was just, for me it was an outlet, but he's definitely not hearing it. He does not know how, he does not use anything. Can't even turn on the computer. It's hilarious. But he's the man. I love that guy.
But
yeah, he's cool.
So moving along, man. You gotta bear with me, folks. It's a late night. Yeah, and then you got the last track. It's called Pride. I love the harmonizing at the end. You know what I mean? Whose touch was like? Whose idea was that to like replicate your voice a million times? It's like a grand ending.
That was me. All that was me.
That was all you.
Those were like 12 different layers. Yeah, that I did.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, it was a lot.
Nice, bro. And are any videos dropping? Not to let the cat out of the bag, but I feel like your best videos and visuals are ahead of you. So I'm looking forward to whatever might be next. Any videos dropping for this one?
So we're doing a 7-part series for Se7en. So I booked a place this Saturday. We're gonna do shoots there and everything like that.
Nice.
We're gonna have 7 different reels. So, you know, that's what we're doing for now. Music videos, I'm probably gonna do 2. I definitely want to do I want to do Sloth with Snotty for sure. I think that'd be a good music video. There's a lot you could do just from the sound of it. And then I would love to do Greed. I love Greed also.
Yeah. Dope track.
Yeah.
Dope, bro. So I'm looking forward to the visuals. I'll definitely repost them when they come out.
Of course. Thank you.
Thought I'd just ask you in closing, you know, you've cleansed yourself of the 7 deadly sins. What's next for Cam? If you want to speak that far ahead, you know, what else do you have planned for this year?
So I got an EP with Potato God. I got an EP with Lord Nexus, and I got Parties 2 this year.
Wow.
So I got them all, you know.
Dope.
I'm ready though, so I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Dope, brother. So can't wait to see what's next in terms of videos and music.
Thank you, bro.
Throwing this shit on my playlist. And we'll stay in touch, bro. Thank you for everyone for joining.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Dope. Have a great night, Cam.
Likewise, bro. Be well.
Take care.
Take care.
Peace.